Hey everyone, how you doing today? We brought Dana from Hemlane back. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, one of the things I'd want to do as a landlord is I wanted to introduce folks to Hemlane's dashboards around maintenance and repairs. Right? I think we've already hit kind of the rent collection and tenant selection, but let's show them how Hemlane makes it easier to kind of manage the repair and maintenance dashboard. I think that'd be very interesting for folks to see. There you go.
Great. And one of the things, whether you are using software or whether you're doing property management with pen and paper, is making sure that you have everything set up and documented. And I can't emphasize that enough. In every state it's different, but most states are 30 days to do maintenance and repair and get it done. And if you are waiting on a tenant, like they're not responding to you, you need all of that documented, because if it gets past 30 days, you have to say, no, I've called, text, and emailed them 50 times. I've not heard from them. Here's all the documentation. I was definitely going to get this done. And you get into a lot of those situations. So we have a maintenance and repair section here, and you can go ahead and see how many open requests you have. Just to get started, and I'll give you a high level overview, you want to set yourself up for success. So, whether you're doing the repair coordination or whether our team is helping, if you do have your own service professionals, put them in the system. And one of the things that we do that you should do, whether you're using software or you are not, is making sure that you know everything about the service professional. So, okay, I have Frank's electricians here. What properties can they service that I have in my portfolio? But what's their pricing? What's their minimum fee? Their pricing notes? Do they do 24/7 emergency hours or not? Are they available on weekends? Are they insured, licensed, bonded? And you can basically go through and say yes or no. But these are questions that you should be asking them, right? Because you need to know this stuff. And then also in documents, they can upload insurance, licensing, price lists, etc. So the more you know about your team on the ground, the better. In our case, we do this with our service professionals to make sure we really know what's happening. They have a service call fee. Can that be applied towards the invoice, the actual bill? Or is it a trip charge plus some sort of fee, whether it's hourly or flat rate afterwards? You need to know all of that. The other thing is instructions, knowing everything about your property. And so there's properties that you're self managing, there's properties we may be helping manage, in which case we have things that are required that we have to know for your property. But when you go through that process and fill this out, thresholds, if you have a service professional going out and they say it's going to be $89 to go out, right? Your next question is, okay, do I want to just allow them to do the work, or should I instruct them that they need to call me for approval? And a lot of times you don't want to give them your threshold. You might say, I think this is going to be about, under $300. But if they're on site, you don't want to tell them it's going to be a $300 threshold, because they're going to charge you $299. And so you're going to want to say, okay, great, $89 service call. If it's above that, call me.
Mhm.
Right. And then you're going to want to know what your thresholds are, or tell us what those are, so we know when to call you. Who your service professionals are. Who are you calling, or are you using our network? And then who's the billing contact, as well as, what are access points? Where's the water shutoff location? Where's the breaker box location? I can't emphasize, knowing all of this stuff in advance will really help speed things up. What kind of appliances do you have? What are tenant responsibilities? So we put all of this in here to be very comprehensive. So whether we're helping with your repair coordination or whether you're doing it yourself, we know everything about the property, or you do, to make that request a lot shorter with a faster turnaround.
This is amazing. I mean, again, I've been a landlord for 20 years, and we've gotten pretty good at kind of doing the same quality across the board. So I've set the standards, but that was probably 8 or 10 years in the making. Right now it's the same paint, same appliances, same, but it wasn't always easy. What is interesting here is, but back to, where's the shut off? All that's, I mean, I don't think I've ever asked that question after 20 years. And you're right, especially if you're going out of state and you're just testing a new team, you should, you could turn this over to them to fill out, like, hey, if you're going to go be my property manager, here's 12 questions to go answer, just
Yep.
so you're more in the know. I think that's pretty cool. I had not thought about that.
Yeah. And it really does help because when you're in an emergency situation, you need to know that. I think my internet went out here for a second on my dashboard. Let me
That's
just
okay.
refresh it. But yeah, so you definitely want to know that stuff in advance. Breaker box location. I can't tell you how many tenants don't know what a breaker box is,
Yeah.
right? And so they're calling, you need
Homeowners
to say,
too.
you need
Not only
to
tenants.
go
I
into,
know lots of homeowners that don't know.
yeah, exactly. You need to go into the closet to get to that. The other thing we do when a tenant does submit a request online through the system, we're asking for things like permission to enter. Who is going to be the scheduling contact to the person on site? A lot of times tenants don't want to be there. I don't know what just happened with my internet here.
It's okay.
A lot of times tenants don't want to be there for the maintenance and repair. And one thing you will notice with that is that they might not want to be there. And then you send out a service professional who says, I can't find what the problem is.
Right.
And suddenly, then you just send someone out and the tenant's not there to say, this is the problem, this is what's been happening, and you're paying a service call fee. So putting all of that in as upfront, and making sure when the tenant puts it in, who's going to be the scheduling contact, do you have photos? Please upload those. If you don't have photos, why not? When they submit the request, it's not my dishwasher is broken, but like exactly what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
So we have limits on like how much they should put into the system. Like the characters, we have minimum characters of like, you need to do this, keep writing. We need to know exactly where it is. It really helps speed up your process and a quick turnaround. So you have service professionals who want to work with you because they're like, okay, you know what you're talking about by the time it gets to them.
Yeah, I really liked all that maintenance and repair stuff. That's again stuff that sometimes new investors don't think about because they're so excited to get the deal, right? But the real work start after you own it. So going in
Yep.
and creating a list of preferred providers, using your network, tracking requests, especially if you're an investor where multiple properties in different states, this kind of central console it does the best job that I've seen of making sure the rules of the road are the same across all providers. Because that's always been my concern for, investors that go, hey, I got two here and two there and two here. It's like, how do you know the rules of the road? Right. Because
Yep.
they do it that way. They do it this way. They do it that way. I'm like, you're going to be ripped off by someone. This is a way, at least you do your best kind of everybody's the same. And as you as the owner, you should be able to do that. So taking a look at that repair and maintenance dashboard was pretty impressive. Nice work.
Great. Yeah. And a lot of it, to your point, is upfront. If you do the upfront work and you set those expectations with tenants and you have a standard process the same every single time, you'll do pretty well.
Yeah. So there's two things I want to hit and make sure. First and foremost, folks, if you are a landlord and have out-of-state stuff, you should sign up for their 30-day trial. Again, just go take a look, go get a feel. I would really tell you to look at the repair and maintenance and just see how that can become standard. And then lastly, if you want to sign up for Hemlane, Dana's been nice enough to give you a coupon code or a discount or whatever you want to call it is my last name, Zuber, Zuber. Just reach out, let them know you're part of one rental at a time. The discount is Zuber. And any closing comments, Dana?
I think make sure you also mention Michael's name there so we can show you exactly where to put that discount code.
Very cool, Dana. Well, thank you very much. This is a lot of fun. Very nice job with that repair and maintenance. That was pretty impressive.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for having me.
Mhm.